Hi guys, my name is Harshit and in this video we are going to learn about basics of strings in Python. So what are strings? So strings are nothing but the collection of one or more characters. So if we want to just create a string in Python, so what we can do is first take a variable, let's say a, and initializing. So we can initialize in two ways, either with the help of single quotes or with the help of double quotes. So both will gonna work. The only thing is, if suppose your string already have a single code, like for example, I am writing like I am Harshit. So in this way, you need to put that this particular string inside double quotes. Then only it will work for us, right? So now if I just want to print a to see whether it will initialize that particular value to a or not, so it is like this. So we can see, right? So let me just remove these cells. Okay. So the another way to create this string is to take user input. So how we can take the user input? We can take with the help of input method. That is the built-in method for like in the Python. So how we can do it? Let's take a variable again a, or let's take it like string equal to then input, and inside this we can enter a message to a user, like for example please enter the message that will be a string, and later what we can do, we can just make string print, right? So if I just do shift enter, so it will, now you can see, right, it will show, it is showing me like please enter that message. And now if I need to print message, so this will be my string, that the value of my string. So let's take Harshit as a value of string, and if I just enter it, so it will print my string. So now this particular variable has this value and this is string, right? So in this way we can create string. Either we can directly initialize it to a variable, or we can take a user input. So both ways is fine. Now let's talk about how we can access the characters of this particular string. So what I meant is, like for example, if we have a string is like Harshit. So in Python we all know about indexing, right? So in Python indexing starts from 0, right? If we are learning like R, it starts from 1, but in Python it starts from 0. So if, and there are two types of indexing, like positive and negative indexing. So what is meant by that is, if we want, if we are doing the indexing from start, so it will go like 0, from 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this way we can print our values if we are using for like the indexing from start, or we can say forward indexing. And if we want to use the negative indexing, as Python also supports negative indexing, so its first value will always be -1, then -1, -2, -3, -4, 5, 6, 7, like that. So let's take an example. So as we already have that string with this particular value, so what we can do is, let's take uh, let's print that string of, so in this way, as we are using the indexing, so let's print string of 6, the, the sixth of string. So what it will go, it will give output, so it will give t as output, right? Because indexing start from 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this way it will print as t. So this here we just need to pass the index of that particular character which we need to print, while keeping in mind that in Python indexing start from 0. So in this way we can print the single elements. Now how we can print the multiple elements of a string? So what we can do is, so like this only, let's suppose we need to print Harsh. Okay, so from this particular string, let's suppose we need to print this much substring. So what we can do, we can put 0 as our starting index, right? and we need to put it like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it is 4, but now we need to put the stopping index, and while putting the stopping index we need to make sure that that particular the value, suppose we put 4, so it will print only 0 to 3 characters. It won't take that fourth character, which is ideally the fifth character. But as for the indexing, if we put it like, suppose we need the till Harsh, we need Harsh, so what we can do, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we need to put it 5. So what it will print is Harsh. So how it is printing Harsh is, it's not taking this particular character value. It's so it is only printing from 0 to 4 only. Okay, so in this way we can print the multiple elements from a string. Now let's talk about, like, is it the deletion or updation is possible in string in Python or not? So basically it's not possible because the string are immutable. So what is meant by immutable is, once we initialize a string with certain value, we cannot change that particular string again. We can initialize it again, but we cannot update or modify it after initializing that particular string. So we can directly like, no, it is not possible, right? So now let's talk about the formatting, how we can format our strings in Python. So basically, as you can see, like, there are three formatting which is possible, like the default formatting, which I will, all three I will show you. So first is default, then position, and then keyword. So how this default is going, like default gonna work for us is, let's take a variable, let's suppose string1, and let's take double quotes, and inside this double quotes, let's suppose we have three words which we need to print in a string, right? So let's take these curly braces, and after that what we can do, we can use the format method, and inside this format method we can write all those words which we need in that particular string. So let's suppose we need to write it like hello, then to, and then all. So now what, as it is a default format, right? So the indexing, it's like this, 0, then 1, then 2. So this hello will be written inside this particular curly braces, and then 2 will initialize to the second, then all to third, as it is a default format. So if I just print this particular string, now you can see that's the whole hello to all is been printing here, right? As I didn't give the space in between, so it is printing like this. But now suppose I am given it a space between all those curly braces, now it will print it hello to all, like that, right? Now let's talk about the positional formatting. Let's take this particular string only, and now instead of giving the default, how we can uh, create a string as we are doing the positional formatting. So what we can do, we can pass the index here, like we all know, right? 0, 1, 2. As we discussed in the default formatting, the indexing is 0, 1, 2, 0 to hello, 1 to 2, and 2 is initialized for all, right? Now we can give the indexing here is like, let's take, we can give 1, then 0, and then 2. Now if we want to print that particular string, so what will be our output? So it will give output as 2, hello, and all, right? As you can see. So in positional formatting, we generally pass the index here inside the curly braces. And now if suppose we need to do formatting with the help of the keywords. So what is meant by keywords is that in format, we have some variables which will be initialized with these strings. So let's take as A, then B, and then C. So these three variables have been initialized with these values. And inside this curly braces, instead of the indexes, now we will be passing these variables where we need to put it, right? So if suppose let's change some part of our string, let's say we are also adding, and suppose like how you are, like this. Okay, so let's, if we just put it like A in the first curly braces, B in second, and C in third, so what it will print is hello to all, how are you, right? But if suppose we just change the values here, let's swap the A to B and B to A. So now what it will print, it will print to hello all, how are you, right? So in this way we can actually format our strings. So this is the like the basic part of the strings only. And let's talk about the last topic of our this like of this particular video. So that is the reverse of reversing a string. So as we having this particular string, let's take, so let's just initialize it again. So let's take A as Harshit. Okay. So currently my that particular A variable has this particular value, right? This particular string. So it is Harshit. Now how I can reverse this particular string? So in Python it is really very simple. So what we can do is colon colon minus 1. So here what it is telling us is, first is the starting index, is start, and then second is stop, and third is step. So as there is nothing initialized here, so uh, it will take as the first value only, that is start, like the all values will be printable. And how we gonna print it, it I like I want to print it from back, right? As minus 1 is the index, as the Python I already showed it here, right? uh, like here, as I already told you here, like how I can print t also in the negative, with the help of negative index is minus 1, just I need to print for like put minus 1 instead of 6 for the t. So as Python is always also take minus index also, like the negative index, support negative index. So what, so it is telling that we will be stepping minus 1. So what is meant is by that is it will not step more than like one value only. Let's so what is going to tell you that in this way we can just directly reverse that particular string. So let's suppose if I only need to print certain characters in the reverse order only, so what I can do is A colon colon, and let's take minus 2. So it will now take a space of 1. Like for example, let's print it. So what is going to take is, first it will print t, right, as you can see. Then it will like don't take this I, because I already put it at minus 2. What is meant by this? This is the third parameter, which is step. So start, stop, and step. So step generally means whatever value, like 0 1 2, whatever like 1 2 3, what we are putting it here. So it will just don't take that particular number of variables between that thing, and it will move that, like jump to that another character. Okay, so in this video we actually learned about the basic part of the strings. So hope you like enjoy it, and if you are liking like the video, so please subscribe and like the video, and I will be putting all these documents in the descriptions, like whatever, like in this case this particular notebook, I will put it in the description, and also the playlist for the string part, like the basic string parts. Okay, thank you.